Hey everyone, this is Manny Wan. Hope you all had a happy new year. So I know this kind of sentiment gets thrown around a lot, but 2016 might truly be the best year for YA yet. There are so many awesome sounding books being released this year, and I'm kicking January off with a couple of my most anticipated picks of 2016. First up, I have We Are the Ants by Sean David Hutchinson. So Henry Denton's life is kind of a disaster, plus his boyfriend committed suicide last year, so things aren't going so well for Henry. Oh, and then there's the part where Henry was abducted by aliens when he was 13, and the aliens have kind of, kept in touch and abducting him once in a while. And now the world's about to end, but the aliens are giving Henry a chance to save the world. So yeah, there is a lot going on in this book, and I cannot wait to dig in. I also have The Love That Split the World by Emily Henry. It's Natalie's last summer in her hometown, but she's starting to notice that something's a little off. There would be things that are there that weren't before, and I mean the whole town itself would just disappear for hours, like, what's going on here? She also receives a message that there's this boy she has to save. This book is being described as Friday Night Lights meets The Time Traveler's Wife, and as if that wasn't enough to make me want to read it, I mean, look at this cover.
Hey everyone, happy 2016! So, I've got two books that I'm really looking forward to reviewing this month. The first is Radioactive by Winifred Conkling. It's the nonfiction story of two female scientists who were instrumental in understanding radioactivity and nuclear fission, but because the scientific world was kind of an old boys club at that point, and maybe it still is, they ended up being excluded from all of the glory. It sounds like an awesome way to learn something about which I know nothing, so can't wait to report back to you on that one. And the second that I'm really excited about is Salt to the Sea by Ruta Sepetys. It comes out February 2nd, but I will be reviewing it this month. You might remember Ruta Sepetys wrote Between Shades of Grey, which was absolutely beautiful and absolutely heartbreaking. Well, this one also takes place during World War II. It's getting rave reviews already, and I've just started it. Hard to put down. It's the story of four teenagers whose lives intertwine when they're all involved in the sinking of the ship, the Wilhelm Gustloff, and you'll have to forgive my pronunciation if that was terrible. So I'm waiting for it to totally break my heart like Between Shades of Grey did. It's hard to write a World War II novel that doesn't break your heart. I cannot wait to tell you what I think, and come back, and hopefully you'll fangirl with me if they're good.
Hey everyone, Happy New Year! I hope the holidays treated you well and that 2016 is going good for you so far. Maybe you got a lot of books, I don't know, hopefully. I'm here today to talk about three books that I'm really looking forward to reading this month. TRUTHWITCH by Susan Dennard is one of the books I'm looking forward to reading this month. It's a fantasy novel about two best friends who are witches. They have special gifts. One can tell the lies from truth, and the other is able to sense people's threads, which is kind of our emotions and what ties us together to family and friends and loved ones. It's a really interesting plot, at least I hope so, and it was the book of BEA 2015, so I'm really hoping it lives up to the hype. The Mystery of Hollow Places is another book I like to talk about. It's by Rebecca Potos, and it's the story of Imogene, whose mother left her when she was really little, and one night when she's 17, her dad leaves. No one knows where he's gone, but she's convinced that he's gone looking for her mother. Her dad happens to be a medical mystery author, so she uses that knowledge that she's learned through reading his books to search for them. Not sure how it's going to be, but it sounds kind of interesting, and I like a good thriller every now and then. Frontlines by Michael Grant is another book I'm excited to read this month. It's an alternate historical fiction novel about World War II, and it's getting high praise from the likes of Elizabeth Wein, who wrote Codename Verity. Let me give you a taste for what it's about. What if American women had fought alongside men in World War II? Michael Grant gives us a magnificent alternative history that feels so real and right and true it seems impossible that it wasn't. Every one of these fictional soldiers has wrapped herself around my heart. And that's a quote from Elizabeth Wein on the back of the book. High praise, definitely. So I'm really looking forward to reading this one.
Hey y'all, Sarah here. Happy January. I'm starting off 2016 with a book that features one of my milk carton qualities, and that is historical fiction. But bonus, this book also features magic, which I've been really hankering for since I read Rainbow Rowell's Carry On. So the book is The Criminal Magic by Lee Kelly. Check out that martini glass on the cover. That's like targeted marketing. But also it makes sense because this book is set in 1926, and instead of alcohol being prohibited, it's magic. Let me give you a little bit of the description from the back. It's 1926 in Washington, D.C., and while anti-sorcery activists have achieved the prohibition of sorcery, the city's magic underworld is booming. Sorcerers cast illusions to aid mobsters' crime sprees, smugglers funnel magic contraband in from overseas, gangs have established secret performance venues where patrons can lose themselves in magic and take a mind-bending, intoxicating elixir known as the Sorcerer's Shine. Joan Kendrick, a young sorcerer from Norfolk County, Virginia, accepts an offer to work for DC's most notorious crime syndicate, the Shaw Gang, when her family's home is repossessed. Alex Danfrey, a first-year federal prohibition unit trainee with a complicated past and talents of his own, becomes tapped to go undercover and infiltrate the Shaws. Sounds pretty good, right? I really enjoyed Lee Kelly's first book, City of Savages, and I'm super excited about diving into this one. I have the feeling I'm gonna need a cocktail or two. I'm just gonna have to pretend my cocktails have magic in them, which when you think about it, alcohol's pretty magical, so I think I'll be okay.